Surf's up, guys? It's Mauisnake, and as you can see, I'm back home on my home setup. That's why it says Mauisnake at the bottom of your screen right now. But we're going to be looking at NIP versus Mouse Sports, and this is going to be kind of like the heroic demo I did recently, where I was going over the most kind of important things that each team did, or each player did, round by round for the team. So this is going to be kind of jumping all over the place, but NIP, this is a check for how good they are on Mirage, because Gamers Out Without Borders, it is a show match, it is a charity event, but at the same time, it's an event you should be trying for because there's a lot of money here. And if you guys are not really aware of what this event is, it's a big charity one that I'm actually working, and Sadakis is on the host role for this one. It's pretty fun thus far. You can check him out there. But either way, $1.5 million, spending it to the charity, or sending it to the charity of your choice, depending on how far you go in this tournament. So NIP, they could be sending a lot of money to Direct Relief, but they came in 5th to 6th. They lost on Mirage. It was map 3 in the series. But we're going to look at what they did, and I'm going to give about as much effort into this demo as NIP do. So still going to be hopping in this one. Let's get to the pistol round. And first person we're going to be looking at here will, in fact, be Plopsky. Plopsky on the pistol round. But wait, what is this? Why does Plopsky have a Deagle on the pistol round? Okay. Sneaking towards middle. Gets a kill onto Ropz. Decides to swing out a little bit more. And now we're going to look at Linus, who actually has a Deagle of his own towards A ramp. And he gets 2 kills. Wait a second. Is there some method behind the madness here for NIP? Maybe. Does a lot of damage to Frozen. Almost gets him, as a matter of fact. Gets him down to 3 HP. And Hampus has snuck his way onto the B site. So he plays the 1v2. Really nice shot here onto Dexter. Perfect tap. And he actually almost finds Frozen right there on the swing. And Frozen lit because he was tagged up by Linus earlier. Finds the peek onto him. Too bad. Linus actually asks in chat, after Frozen does some tactical crouching on the body of Hampus, how much HP he had. Linus asks for it. Dexter says 60. A little bit of lying going on already, I see. Okay. Okay, second round. Usually you're going to see a Forcebuy. Wait a second. What? What the heck? Okay, looks like NIP just bought 4 AKs. And 2 of them don't have armor. Alright. That's the game we're getting into. Like I said, I'm going to give this about as much effort as NIP gave this game. But they're still in it, you know? They're still trying on this round here. They're going to be going for this one. They try to boost Linus into window. They take some early mid control with that one smoke that they had early on. And A-Court actually spots Linus, but doesn't shoot him. And Plopsky takes him down. So, let's check out Device here. And if you aren't aware, Device, he played for Astralis. Mirage was their permaban, so for 2 years he basically did not play this map, but he still kind of finds his way with it. Picks up the AK, thinks about challenging Dexter here, and Device has armor, so he could actually easily go for this one, but decides that he wants to group up with his team, and they want to try to probably hit this A site. Now we'll look at Hampus here, as he's kind of the Palace lurk, and Ropz actually does a lot. So we're going to look at Ropz really briefly here, because he just kind of made a really cool push towards ramp. And he's losing control of the A site, knows that he has to try to find something. Nice shot there onto Device. Realizes that Plopsky is planting, the player is above him, but he still goes for the shot. And Hampus has to hit the spam, and that's going to be it. Because Dexter doesn't even really go for this, or he does go for it. But Hampus just actually plays the time. And he actually takes him down. He actually finds the kill as he runs away, because Dexter just didn't give himself enough time. So, round number 3 here. We'll see some early mid-control from side of NIP. They're looking for something towards middle. You know, some good mid-nades. They got a smoke towards window. They are playing around the smoke towards con. Just a lot of shots being fired in that direction. They're really not afraid of letting Mouse Sports know that there's 4 people towards middle, as a matter of fact. But, you know, they're making their way up. It's going to be an A split coming out. And they actually do a pretty good job here of, you know, getting the kills, getting the bomb down. And it was supposed to be a con split. I think Hampus actually died towards the Palace after getting one. But they just keep challenging, and they know that they have the better guns. So that's going to be fine for them. And so, round 4, we'll look at Hampus here. It's going to be coming out on the anti-eco. Just decides to jump up Palace. You know, clears all these angles out. Uses the Molotov. Decides to almost shoot Device in that situation. Acor just decides to burn to death. Frozen holding a Zeus in the top of Con. And Hampus just keeps on hunting for these ecos. So, good for him. Good for him. So, round number 5 here. We've got an interesting strategy that's going to be coming about. They're going to be going for some early mid-control, while they're going to be going for a hit towards B. And we're going to look at REZ here in the back as he makes his way out. Just makes his way all the way up. And throws a molly at his teammate. And that's pretty much it, you know, spams, and that's cool. That's cool. That's really all we were looking for, right? Round number 6, though. Another interesting strat. We've got another interesting strat because it looks like it's supposed to be a mid-fake at the beginning for NIP. They actually decide to make their way towards B apartments. They make their presence very well known. A lot of spam going through the apartments. They fake out the entire B play, and while that happens, REZ actually is lurking out from ramp with his teammate. LNZ gets caught. REZ whiffs the entire spray, and the jig is up. The bomb is down on A. Mausports have the final players all surrounded, and that's going to be it. An interesting strategy from NIP in this round. So, another B rush as NIP make what seems to be a tilt call. They seem very frustrated about the situation. LNZ jumps out, actually does quite a bit, but wait a second, LNZ, you get these kills, but you have the bomb! You have the bomb, and you're challenging all the way in to market here, and the bomb is down. The bomb is down, LNZ. So what does Device do? Dinko put it perfectly on the cast. Tom Cruise, what does Tom Cruise? He goes on the rescue mission, Mission Impossible style, gets the bomb, retrieves it, gets back, and then plants it in a spot you don't really see that often. I don't really see people plant here. I'm not sure why, other than maybe you're exposed to a few angles, but Device actually gets the kill. Great spam by Acor, and then Hampus is in the 1v2. So we'll look at how Hampus plays this one out. He actually decides to just stick himself in apartments. Pretty good post-plant position, unironically. And the tap is there. He doesn't believe it, though. And that's pretty wise. I think it might bait somebody out, but now Hampus goes for the swing onto Acor, and Acor hits the perfect headshot. So Mousesports get a third. Otherwise, a pretty well-played round from NIP, other than the fact that Linus delivered them the bomb. So round 8 here, we'll look at Device. Back to Tom Cruise. Makes his way up Cat. Kind of looking for something, you know? Gonna throw a rail smoke to try to get some cat control. And NIP decide to get team flashed as they work their way into... They work their way into murder hole, and they all die. And they start dying everywhere. As I think the jig is up once again. I think Mousesports figured out what was happening here. But Device actually makes a really cool play here. So, and you can tell he's not trying at all in this game, as he goes for the God clear for the van player as he takes down Dexter. And then actually Plopsky had the bomb in window, so Device has to retrieve this one. Takes down Bemis, not bad. And then Device actually, nice movement, as you would expect, makes his way to Cat. Ropz doesn't quite catch him, he kind of saw it. And then, you know, it's Ropz in a 1v1, so we actually don't even need to watch it, because if Device doesn't peek, he wins the round. That's literally how you beat Ropz in a 1v1, guys. Okay, so round number 9. There's a lot of people who get involved on this one, as they go for an Iron Man approach. If you guys aren't familiar with the Iron Man strategy, that is one where you just send out one player at a time out of the same choke point. And that's what happens here. Device goes for the first, and then Bemis doesn't expect there to be another player coming out, so gets caught from a timing. But Ropz is able to find the trade. Now REZ, it's his turn to be the Iron Man as he makes his way all the way out lower balcony, but Ropz spots him. So now it's Hampus's turn in the Iron Man strategy, and now he makes his way out towards Balc 2, and they don't actually catch this. They don't know that he's there. And he lasts so long here that eventually Linus says, you know what, I'm sick of this strategy. I'm going to plant the bomb. Maybe there's going to be a peek from CT. doesn't actually come. And now it's a 2-on-3 situation. And we're going to look at Linus here because he actually plays this incredibly, as we're going to see Ropz and Frozen both have a smoke. So someone here helps out Linus. I forget who it is, but we'll find out in just a second. Oh, it's Frozen actually. And Frozen decides that he wants to give Linus a one-way because that's the only way they can lose this round. So Linus uses that one-way to get 2 different kills back to back. And then Ropz does hit the shot, but Ropz is just too slow. But that's just how Ropz plays. You know, that's okay. That's how Ropz goes about these situations. Just, you know, even though there's no kit or anything, you'd rather just kind of wait. So that's okay. That's okay. He tried. So let's go to Plopsky here towards middle. And he dies. And then we get what do we get next? We get FaZe throwing a kind of a scuff top mid smoke. So he challenges. Now he's going to try to find something towards middle. As you can see that they're kind of implementing almost a layered Iron Man strategy towards middle, where the first person dies and then the second person comes out. And yeah, this is a really cool spot to be in if you're NIP, where you have really very little map control. FaZe actually finds a sick ass headshot, and then he dies. And Linus and Hampus think about going for this, but with 40 seconds left, there's just not enough time. You know, there's just not enough time to try it. So you might as well save in apartments. There's just no hope at that point. You had no time to go for the plant. So you sit there and you lose. This is actually the sickest round, by the way. This is the sickest round by far that you're going to see in this game. And unironically, super sick shot by LNZ. And then you can see his mechanics on display here. Tap, tap. Like, Ropz couldn't even do anything there. And the round's pretty much over at that point. So great double entry, and that's going to be it. So, round number 12. We're just going to watch FaZe for the entire round here, as he tries to make his way up. He actually gets a kill on a Frozen. Looks like every single player from NIP wants to jump in the window. And this is a pretty cool situation where he smokes off the murder hole, and that's a cool lineup if you didn't know that one. And he spots the barrel of Acor, so he goes for the double left-click knife into the right-click, but he whiffs the right-click, and now he's dead. Wow. All right. Device bought an auto shotgun on a B rush. Oh, he got one. Wow. Oh, shoot. Plopsky bought a Nova. Sheesh. Okay. Long range pump coming at you. But you know what? Plopsky's going to do better than Device here. Spoiler. Gets 1, gets 2. A $900 gun, taking down 2 ops. I don't think you can complain with those results. And now they try to push into BMS, as one should in a 2v1 when the bomb is not planted. Nice team flash right there. Couldn't have been any better, actually. And that's pretty much it, actually, honestly. Oh, wait a second. Is it, though? Is it? Oh, no. Oh no, Bemis is going for this. Device, you quick switch before you actually shot. Oh no. Oh no, Bemis just smoked the bomb. Oh no, Device has a Zeus for some reason. Oh my god, what is happening here? Wow. You hate to see it. You hate to see that, don't you? But this is another fun one. We got round 15, last round of the half. Flash towards underpass. Not bad from FaZe to clear out anybody that could potentially be pushing here. And his teammate actually gets a kill. He finds out that there's a player in window. Decides to just run at him if he were there. And he actually gets the best timing ever. And I think FaZe should probably apply to FaZe Clan after this round right here, because he spots out Acor, pulls out the Sapphire actually, it's not a Karambit, it's a Talon. And then he goes for the 369! Yes! And that's the whole round. And they lose. Okay. First half done right there. What can we say about it? Not a lot. Let's keep moving. Okay, pistol round right here. We're just going to skip this. It's actually not that fun. NIP play actually standard, and they win, which is kind of boring. And I didn't really want to see that at all this game. So we're going to look at Device, because he bought a Bison here. This is probably the first time you guys have ever seen Device with a Bison. I don't care how long you've been watching Counter-Strike. But he's going to try to hold down Cat, his absolutely not normal position, and he dies. So we're going to see Hampus here, who has the Mag 7, and he kind of can't connect either. And that's the entire round. And Mousesports get the bomb plant at B. They lose a member, but they win the round. So, round number 18, we've got FaZe.REZ on a solo mission towards A as they're going for a big B stack for NIP. You can see that most of their players are here. So FaZe.REZ, he's trying to fight through connector, but Dexter kills him, and NIP don't rotate, and they lose. Yeah, that's just unfortunate. You know, that's just unlucky. That's just unlucky. So this is a pretty cool round from Frozen, actually. So we're going to watch this one because it's actually, you can actually see how skilled some of these players are here. So, sick entry fragging ability from Frozen. Just seems to know where everybody is. Good stuff. Oh my god. Actually brutal. Actually just straight brutalized. And then we've got Hampus, though. In CT spawn, just hiding in an angle that no one should ever hide in. And you know what what happens? It works! Why does nobody hide there? It worked. Results-oriented thinking. Let's go. All right. He dies, but that's it. You know, he actually made $900 with that one shot, so good for him. So we're going to stay on Hampus for a bit, and we're going to see a setup we haven't seen since 2013, and that is the bench boost. And the reason this spot is so bad is that every single flash in the game will blind both of these players. And so just, you know, the one counter to this is if anybody throws a flash. That's the one counter, but you know what? They break it up ahead of time, and they get flashed anyways, and Hampus dies without getting a kill. And, you know, Device does his best Sanji impression, dropping that smoke down, but they all die. So that's just unlucky that they got hit with the most, like, unlikely counter. And then we've got FaZe.REZ, who's actually just in Palace early on this round. His teammates are getting beat up towards the A site, and FaZe.REZ is just going to hang out here. So FaZe.REZ is just going to hang out. Yeah. Well. Hanging out. Yep. Just couldn't kill a guy in sandwich. I could use a sandwich right now. But, yeah, he couldn't get him. That's just, again, just really unlucky for NIP. And look at this. He knows Frozen's there. He's stuck. So FaZe.REZ, again, he wants more. He wants another knife. I don't know how many he's going to get this game, but will it happen here? Nope. It won't, but Device actually gets it. But he dies. That's just unlucky. Okay. So, this is another cool play from Linus. If you guys are looking for something to throw into your Mirage Pugs, this is one to throw out there. You miss the flash in Underpass. Doesn't actually quite go out all the way, so he has to do it again. Has to try that one again. And it actually works! He gets frozen in the round. Just doesn't work out for NIP for numerous reasons. But at least Linus got that one sick kill, right? So, that's just... I mean, you can't... I mean, what more can you do if you're Linus there, right? And so NIP decide that, you know what, these default defenses, they're not working out for them. So they want to play a 5A stack. And the one counter from this, for Mousesports, is for them to go B and plant towards B. And you know what? That's just so unlucky. That's just really unlucky for NIP there. The Mousesports, they went B, they had the read, and they lost. So that, you know, sometimes you try everything and it just doesn't work. So now we go to Hampus for what may be the final round, as he actually waited for the player to break the vent, threw the molly at his teammate, and then he wants to play around bench, and once again, they're playing a really heavy A setup. They think, surely Mousesports can't go there 2 rounds in a row, but let's at least have a little contingency plan in the form of Hampus if they do go towards B. So Hampus actually just waits by the bench, and Mousesports think that it's actually just a fully clear sight because Frozen already is killing everybody in spawn. But no, this is when Hampus decides to strike. He gets 2, but he's traded out. And unfortunately for him, that's going to probably do it. So we'll watch as Device tries to make this happen. And I want to show this from a third-person perspective here, because Device, you know, he has that decoy. He wants to try to freak out Frozen, so he throws the decoy, and Frozen does turn. So to Device's credit, it actually worked. But that's going to be it, guys. And that was for charity. As always, being toxic is a choice.